During the day, we're going to be presenting many prestigious awards. For the occasion, we invited an award-winning keynote speaker to talk to us about the importance of daring challenges and reaching them. Please put your hands together for our award-winning keynote speaker and author, Dr. DeVolder.
You've heard the saying, I'm sure. The only thing constant in life is? Well, not anymore. That's the way it used to be. It used to be that we could say, the only thing constant is change. But change has actually changed. Change has changed. We are now in the midst of what's called a totally different world. Change has changed. Change has been disrupted. We're the first generation living in an accelerated rate of change. Change is no longer constant. Change is exponential. 100 years ago, the only thing that was really changing was perhaps viruses, the only thing changing exponentially. But now, at this time, and in our generation, look at the kind of things that are changing exponentially. Today, data storage has changed 3 million times larger than just 30 years ago. In 30 years, it's changed that much. Every one of us, if I asked you to take out of your pocket right now, or a purse, a cell phone, you'd be able to do that. And 20 years ago, that cell phone was just for making telephone calls, wasn't it? Not anymore. Now we all carry portable computers. Welcome to exponential change. But the most important thing we really need to know about exponential change is this, that the speed and rate of future changes will be exponentially faster than the last. Think of that for a moment. That means that if you think things are changing quickly right now, the next change will be even faster. And the one after that, even faster. And on it goes. Because we are living in exponential times. What does that feel like? I don't really have to ask you, but I'm going to ask you just the same. What does that feel like to be living in exponential times? Well, I'm going to show you a short clip of a guy, a pilot in flight school, who's experiencing G-force speed for the very first time. Watch this. Anyone felt like that this week? You know, you may laugh and say, oh, that's really funny. But the good thing is, this guy actually didn't fail. He passed the test. Do you know how you fail this test? It's if you faint, that's right. So he may not look like he's doing well, but he did very, very well. And the question I want to ask of all of us who've experienced these kind of things, how do we adapt? How do we adapt in exponential times? How do we adapt in a VUCA world? Do you know that term, VUCA? VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. That certainly describes my world. What about you? Are you living in VUCA disruption? Well, the question, again, I want to go back to living in this kind of world, in these kind of times. The question, how do we adapt, really depends on, I think, the answer to that question is, what kind of person are you? And how do you respond to change? Now, I'm often described as the change specialist, and sometimes change is difficult for me, but for the most part, I really like change. In fact, this may surprise you, but I like change so much that 5 years ago, I changed my name. Yeah, to Grandpa. What about you? When you think about change and how you respond, how you react, the kind of person you are you the type of person that when there is a change initiative, you're the first one that stands up and you say, bring it on? How many people like that? Love change, can't get enough of change. Okay, thank you, there's 3 of you. Good. At 4, thank you. All right, there are more categories. Don't feel left out here. If you didn't raise your hand for that, perhaps this describes you. Are you the type of person that says, it's not that I'm resistant to change, but not all the time? How many people like that? Okay, I didn't get everybody yet. There is one final category. I would actually, I'd advise you not to raise your hand on this one. It's a career-limiting move. It's the person that says, no change. No change. Well, if you say no change, I've got some news for you. You're actually in the wrong room. You're in the wrong industry. Because in this room, in this industry, in this world today, we have to change. The word is liminality. Say that with me. Liminality. That is your word for the day. Now, 2 things to make this a little bit even more interesting. You're going to define this word, but you're not going to do it alone. This is a team effort. So you're going to choose a person in a couple moments who is going to be your partner. And together, you're going to come up with a fabulous definition for the word liminality. Secondly, for the first 3 people who are willing to stand and give the definition for the word, right or wrong, you will earn Lindor chocolates. That's right, Lindor chocolates. You've got 45 seconds, go! Tell us your name, please.
I'm Trish from Washington, D.C.
Hi, Trish. Yep.
So, liminality.
Liminality.
If you are familiar with construction, there's a certain tensile strength to steel. And liminality describes what extent of curvature a piece of steel can endure in a structure.
You see, this is how you play the game. When you are wrong. When you don't know.
You believed it, right?
Did you believe it? I even want to go back and check my notes. Nice job, wow.
Feather digging and the chocolate. Thank you. I think it's when limiting mentality. So when your mind sets your own limits on yourself. Good. Nice job. Excellent.
Liminality comes from the Latin word limen, which means doorway. Why doorway? Maria hinted at it. Liminality is actually the study of transitions. Study of transitions. Where does doorway come into it? Well, think of it this way. Every one of you entered this room through one doorway, didn't you? Now, I've been here since early morning. I've watched many of you come into the room and go out of the room. Every one of you came in through one of the doorways. I tell you what I didn't see. I didn't see one of you do this. Not one of you did this. Not one of you opened the door and went, no. You opened the doorway, you walked right in. You walked right in as if it were nothing, which it is, unless what we're talking about is transitions. Transitions is all about either being mobilized to go through the doorway, to go from one reality to the next. It's either being about being mobilized or it's being about paralyzed. What happens in every transition is every one of us, as we step into the change, as we step into that transitional period, everyone gets stuck. Maybe momentarily, maybe just for a few seconds, some permanently. What they see as they go through the transition is too much for them, and they remain stuck right there. So when you think about change, when you think about transitions, really what makes change most difficult, I believe, is the transitions. And I want to give you tools today that can help you to shorten that period of transitional time so that you do more of a stutter step in that transition and be able to go forward.